I want to talk just a minute about having a diagnosed mental illness called bipolar 1. I got it a long time ago, and recently the situation was my medications can help some, but when you have it, you have it, and it is a disability in some senses. I would take art classes, but a lot of times I couldn't finish the class because I would get delusional. So I got married, and I had horses, and I had some children. And then my divorce, I went back into the art world and started painting. And I continued taking I would try different medications over about the course of 12 years. But I was in and out of hospitals a lot, sometimes 2-3 times a year. And I was compliant with medications. I was really trying to stabilize. Some parts of mental illness can be very frustrating. As Jimi Hendrix says, it's a frustrating mess. You have moments, clarity is not the question, metaphysically or reality other people deal with. It's all clarity. And people say, no, I don't see that. I don't see the metaphysical. And you're like, yeah, but it's real, I think. And it can be an illusion, but some of that goes into your art, those abstract ideas. But I think the most difficult thing is when you get angry or frustrated, which can happen. Hey, how are you? In day-to-day life with an illness, any illness. I don't care if it's cancer. I'll walk down here, it's a little quieter. So with illness comes frustration and sometimes anger. But because you're not in a wheelchair, and also the hospital bed, nobody comes to see you in the hospital. Hardly anybody calls. I get frustrated at that because it's painful. It's painful to have a mental illness, just as any other illness is. But it's getting better, and don't get me wrong, we have a lot of people at task trying to make this better. But I think some people are just still so afraid of the diagnosis. And like with me, I thought my life was over. But my life was just beginning to meet all these really wonderful, creative people that have it. And they function, they do the best they can or they don't. And then they're suffering. I have a paranoid schizophrenic friend that just suffers, and I feel so bad. And I'm always welcoming him because I know he's suffering. But other people shy away from him. And because of his suffering, he also was not accepted at art school because he wasn't well enough. And you can't tell if maybe people could be more accepting if other people around them said, that's not appropriate. To just totally disengage with a mentally ill person because they're sick, So maybe through community, we can learn how to adapt better to people that are suffering and support them more. I would hope. I would hope.